Welcome, beautiful people, or welcome back to my channel. My name is El Nino, and today I'm going to be doing more of my world psychic predictions for July and August 2025. These are just a few of the many predictions that I have for you guys, and I wanted to make another video today. And if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Click the notification bell, click the subscribe button, and comment down below where you're from. Comment down below what other predictions you guys want me to do or any other videos you guys want me to do. And yeah, welcome to my channel, guys. And if you guys are already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the support. And I really appreciate and love you guys. All right, so let's get started with prediction number one. So prediction number one is we have an astrological transit, which is the sign of Gemini going into the planet of Uranus, okay, on July 7th, which is tomorrow. I'm filming this July 6th. So I did mention this before when this, in my other predictions, go check out parts 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, come back to this video. But if you guys want to watch just this video, that is fine. But we have Gemini entering Uranus, which is basically a big shift with the planetary alignments. And this transit, specific transit, indicates that there will be conflicts arising. That was the last time we had this transit, I believe, was World War II in the United States. So this was about 83, 86 years ago. And I see that we're going to have more conflicts coming up this month and re-rising of conflicts. Okay, so old conflicts, new conflicts. What does that mean? This means that ceasefires, like I said, are going to be broken officially this month. I see any peace treaties that were signed from other countries. I see that being kind of, not fully followed through. But the main places, what I mentioned before, are countries that I see again is Iran and Israel. I see an increase again this month with attacks with nuclear sites, missiles being thrown. And I also see President Donald Trump again will definitely get involved in another strike, okay? And I also do see that, and I mentioned this in my other videos, that I saw England, the United Kingdom, basically all of, England, Scotland, the whole United Kingdom, and I see an involvement in the Middle East, and this could be tying into going on with Iran, and this could be maybe an attack on a military jet, plane, or a site, and this will spark the UK to step in. And I also do see another country, just what other country? This is in Europe too. This just came to me right now. It's close to Europe. It's close to England. I want to say either France or Belgium, but I feel like France energy I'm picking up on will also be involved. There'll be something coming out this month with them getting involved in this feud with Iran and Israel. Okay. Also do see that when it comes to like ICE rates in the United States, we definitely are going to see an increase. I also do see we're going to see an ICE agent or several agents be unalived. You might hear about that due to ratings or during raids. Some of these ICE agents could also be off duty and they could be targeted. Okay. And what this means for places around the United States is there's going to be continuations of these. Okay. So they're going to be coming, anywhere, your house, your neighborhood, banks, hospitals, they're going to be all over. But I do see that we are going to see still tensions. And I also do pick up this energy that Mexico and Puerto Rico, if you're like a U.S. immigrant or citizen or you're traveling tourist to those countries, you might want to be a bit careful this month. So a travel advisory could be set in place or announced from the United States towards these specific cities in the country. Because of course, not every advisory is the whole country. It could just be certain cities. But I see that there might be more cities in Mexico that tourists have to be careful for, especially if these are cities that immigrants were deported back from America too. Okay, so they might even start to side eye U.S. immigrants or U.S. Even if you have a visa, even if you have your passport, you're just visiting. You just have to be more careful. And if you are living in Mexico and you live in the United States, or you're from the United States, I see that we're going to see some type of protest. That's all that I'm seeing. It could be due to what's tourism with like the USA, like what happened with Spain. And this could be towards Americans, specifically Americans. Okay. It doesn't feel like it's other countries per se. It could be, but I'm getting more focused on Americans. And also, I see Puerto Rico. I don't know. I feel like there could be travel advisories for Puerto Rico coming up because I see a lot of Puerto Ricans being deported back to Puerto Rico from ICE or conflicts arising with Puerto Rico and the United States. This could be with President Trump and Puerto Rico. Okay, so we're going to see a rise in that. Also, the Dominican Republic came out to me as well. So the DR. So if you are traveling to those places, especially places where it's Latin, Spanish-speaking places, and you are a U.S. citizen, you just might need to be more advised on certain places not to go and certain places to go. Okay. And I also do see that there's going to be a conflict between, we're going to see a conflict around Italy again, protest. I see conflicts with Greece, Italy, and I see areas of Turkey as well. So we're going to see conflicts with those around those countries. This could be protests, but then I see two countries getting at it. It could be around the borders. So this could be around Turkey government, Greek government, some conflicts with civilians in those areas. And I also do see that we're going to start to see a re-rise again of conflicts with Pakistan and India. So we're going to see another attack from Pakistan towards India and then vice versa. Okay. And then we're going to see, again, continuations, escalations with Ukraine and Russia, China and Taiwan. We're going to see escalations with China making threats and even showing up all of a sudden, confirmation of be hit my window. We're going to see them literally coming at their door. Or at least making threats. And I see Taiwan preparing. This could be already around the Navy ships, around the sea areas, around the mainlands, but I see conflicts, okay? And then I also see something about Germany preparing for some type of conflict, or they're making some type of military weapon. And I also feel there's something about Poland as well, the country Poland getting involved in some type of conflict or preparing for some type of conflict. Okay. And there's a big emphasis on military training in those countries in the coming even few months. Okay. I see Poland getting involved in some type of conflict, either with two other countries or they get involved directly with another country is what I see. Okay. I see big protests again around even countries in Africa, conflicts in Africa. I also see the Philippines. There might be protest conflicts with the Philippines, and this could also be China involving some Navy ships, ports in the Philippines, something to do with like ships, water territories. And I also do see that there's going to be conflicts arising from the Philippines with another country, and it could be China. It could be any other country in Asia, but that stood out to me as well. Okay. Yeah. See riots breaking out in Central America too. Protest riots, and also, of course, Mexico, if I didn't already say it. All right. So we're going to go to prediction number 3. Number 3, we're going to talk about Japan and the upcoming earthquakes and crazy stuff that's been happening in Japan. How can we not include Japan? you guys didn't watch my previous predictions, even from since April, I've been saying that July was going to be a really crazy month for Japan. And we've been seeing a lot of earthquakes. And we also recently had a volcano eruption in Japan, okay, on an island in Japan. And I wrote down specific dates that I see. So these are dates that I see that there's going to be more incidences of earthquakes, tsunami warnings, volcano eruptions, because there's going to be another volcano eruption in Japan. Okay, this could be around the same one it just happened. And there's also going to be underwater activities with volcanoes in Japan as well. Okay, but pay attention to the dates that I put. We have July 11th to the 12th with a question mark. Then I also got July 19th to July 24th. So between July 11th to July 24th, combine those dates together, I feel like we'll see some type of massive earthquake, tsunami warning, heightened volcanic activities, and another volcano eruption, either on the land or under the sea. Okay. Also, we also have more activities around November and December of 2025. So this is not just 1 month thing. This could extend until the end of this year. And if what I say right now, let's just say the dates I give right now, nothing happens those dates, because sometimes it's very hard to accurately predict time frames. Um, you know, and I'll take accountability for that. The months we could see is November and December. So it's not this month. It could be course happening next month, but by the end of the year, I see this happening, and I see massive earthquakes, 7 point plus earthquakes. But I see a big underwater earthquake shaking that is going to cause a tsunami. Okay, that is going to hit the mainlands, the islands of Japan, and I see volcanoes underwater being very active. Okay, and again, I see another eruption of a volcano. So it looks like the same volcano that erupted is going to erupt again. All right, and I see cables, underwater cables, which I mentioned in my other predictions, being affected due to either underwater earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, weather patterns, but this looks like a natural disaster. Because somebody did ask me, which places that I see, because I said 3 specific underwater cable lines would be affected. Now that I look more into my predictions, I want to say that maybe 3 underwater cable lines in Japan could get affected. And what happens when underwater cables, submarine cables get cut? We have no power, no internet, no access to communication. So that would make sense if there is a tsunami and an earthquake. Okay. I see underwater landslides, which could cause tsunamis. And I also saw a vision of a crack on the ocean floor in Japan. Okay. This could be near an underwater volcano on the ocean floor. And then I saw a crack on the land of a road in Japan, like a street. Like, it's almost like a crack, like a fault line, and it's kind of opened. Okay. I had a dream about this too. But of course, the dreams may not exactly be how, you see it in person. But I for sure can tell you that we're going to see some type of crack on the ocean floor due to the plate tectonics moving. And it's going to shock a lot of people in Japan and also parts of Asia, because other parts of Asia are going to be affected, not just Japan. We're going to have Taiwan, coast of China, the Philippines, Indonesia. We're going to have parts of India, Sri Lanka. It's going to kind of remind us of what happened in the 2004. Okay, we're also going to see the Indian Ocean be active with like earthquake, a lot of earthquakes. And I don't know if there is an active volcano in the Indian Ocean already, but I do feel, sorry, I'm looking at my thing, making sure that the light is not on. But I do see we're going to have active volcanoes, active earthquakes. Okay. I see 3 main underwater cables being affected in Japan. Okay. So let's go on to prediction number 4. I see that number four, we're going to hear about a massive scandal from a past event involving the Vatican Church. I don't think this is like a recent scandal that, just happened. This could be a scandal coming out, and it has to do with either a past pope or this could be Pope Leo. I wasn't too clear on the message I was getting, but I also want to say for Pope Leo, he has to be careful because I do think and feel that there could be threats on his life. Just like I said, this month we're going to see threats with politicians, mayors, religious leaders. If you're a pastor, Buddhist, rabbi, theologian, evangelical, you just have to be mindful. Okay. And I do feel like, and yeah, if you're a Catholic pope, you just have to be careful because I do think that there will be threats towards him. Okay. And if it's not this month, for sure by the end of this year. Okay. So I see a scandal coming around that. I see more scandals coming out about a lot of celebrities, a lot of crimes as well. CCTV footages of files that were hidden are revealed, hidden documents of politicians revealed, of scandals, laundering. We're going to see big, big events around the world like that. Okay. And remember, I said President Trump, I see that assassination attempt coming. Okay. That attempt is not going to be successful. And then I saw the Ayatollah, the Iranian leader, but I feel like he will pass away. All right. Kind of makes me like he could be like inside of a building or inside of a house or building or structure and it explodes. Or he's inside of something. And it's not it's like a big, like shock to the world. Okay. And I also do see there's going to be another US politician that is going to have, has to be careful. I do see another assassination on a US politician. I see another one on a Christian megachurch pastor. And I also see that this could even be the same or a different pastor, that there might be a stalker, someone that tries to break in this person's property. And if you are certain politicians, mayors, I see that happening as well with like their areas, people showing up to their houses. And I see that, just have to be more mindful. Okay. Yeah. I see airlines. Okay. I'll talk about that in a second, but I do see three specific airline accidents, whether it's they crash, they fall, they sink. I see airline accidents is one around American Airlines. So this could be an American airline plane in another country or one in America. Okay. And I also was getting strong cities from Chicago, Energy, Los Angeles, New York. Okay, so I see a lot of emphasis on airlines, airplanes, airports in those areas, people from those areas that could fall victim to these incidences. Also do see someone think about it, another Canadian airline could have an accident. And then I see one in Mexico and one in Texas, coming from or leaving Texas, or the people could be from Texas. Okay, so this could be in another country, but maybe a lot of people are from Texas or something like that. I see ones coming in Europe, either from or towards Europe, an airline accident. I see another one in Asia. Okay, I see a big one in Turkey. A Turkish airline crashes. A Turkish airline, Turkey or Greece, but I'm feeling around Turkey. So this could be from Turkey or in Turkey. All right. We're going to see a lot of incidences. And like I said, we're going to see a lot of cancellations with airlines this month. And it's going to be record breaking, that they're going to be like, this is the most cancellations we had in decades or years or in history. So a lot of airline delays, and we are in Mercury retrograde, so you got to be careful with traveling during Mercury retrograde because there's going to be accidents. It's just inevitable. Okay. So, number 5, volcano eruptions erupt again 2 or 3 times. So, like I did predict before with Indonesia, I said Indonesia was going to have an earthquake, and then I said another earthquake was going to happen. I see another one. I see another eruption. I see another eruption in Japan. I see multiple multiple volcanoes erupting numerous times. I see another one in Italy. Okay. I see another one in Central America erupting. This could be Guatemala. I see one in Costa Rica. I see an earthquake. I keep saying earthquake. Mexico. Mexico is going to have an earthquake for me to say that, but I see another volcano eruption in Mexico. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of these, and also underwater volcanoes are going to be erupting, or at least active. And I also see Yellowstone is going to be active, where we're going to see not a full-blown eruption, but we're going to see activities, and we're going to get a lot of also news about the bisons in Yellowstone, and even bisons across the United States. We might see something about bisons. This could be due to climate change. This could be due to weather. We might see a lot of news and information about bisons, the buffaloes. Okay. So areas I see: Japan, Turkey, China, Italy, Ethiopia, Guatemala, the United States, Mexico, and also New Zealand and Australia. Okay, I see that there's going to be a lot of activities. New Zealand is going to have a eruption of a volcano, and I see a massive earthquake hitting New Zealand, which could also affect Australia, and it could even be Australia has an earthquake, and then I see like tsunami waves, not huge tsunami waves, but smaller tsunami waves hitting New Zealand, and I see that there's also going to be earthquakes, underwater earthquakes off the coast of South America that could trigger tsunami waves hitting the coast of like Santiago, Chile, around that area, South America. Okay. Earthquakes I see active, like I said, Japan, China, Italy, Ethiopia, the same countries. I see specific Caribbean island earthquakes and volcano activities: St. Vincent, Martinique, and Grenada, which is a Kikit Jenny volcano. I see some type of activities around those areas. I see the Greece, Santorini Islands, and I see another form of evacuations. So we're going to see not only earthquake activity, we're going to see volcanic activity. Okay. Again, I'm came to my mind too is Mount Etna. We're going to see Mount Etna in Italy. We're going to see another like active ashes coming from the volcano, and then also the Philippines as well. So it's going to be very intense. Okay, I'm giving you a lot of information. I did say Australia, and I put cyclone. So a big water storm, tropical storm could be hitting Australia. And then I see active earthquake activities as well. What's like one part is flooded, one part is hot, one part is burning, one part is cold. We're also going to see parts of Canada having snow, and areas in Europe where it's usually cold, it gets warmer. Like, for example, not talking about the heat waves, I'm talking about like the glaciers, like in the Switzerland Alps. There's going to be like they melt faster or they melt sooner, and we see storms coming in sooner than later. Okay, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting with this, what I'm picking up on with this climate. Number 8, I see that we're going to see an increase in shark activity, shark incidences, but I was getting more of sharks appearing closer to coastlines, beaches, coast off of like New York, back east, East Coast, the West Coast, California, Santa Monica. Mexico. The one in Mexico, though, it's because there's going to be a hurricane coming up. So we're going to start to see sea life coming closer to the coastlines and also rise in warmer temperatures. And then I also see that we're going to see shark incidences in the Mediterranean Sea, Italy, Australia, New Zealand. We're going to see even parts of Europe. We're going to see sharks. Coast off of like the UK, we're going to see sharks coming near oceans, near ports. Okay, we're going to see randomly they're going to just be appearing while people are in the water. Okay, that's kind of scary. Jellyfish, we're going to see an increase of like seals. We're going to see a lot of like fishes as well. We're going to see, even in Japan, I see that as well with sharks. And I see fishes appearing on Japan shores, like the doomsday fish or random fish will appear on the coastline of Japan. And this is going to be a big sign of connecting to what I was saying with the earthquakes and tsunamis, okay? This could even be the aftermath, too, of like sea life appearing on the shores when this happens, okay? Number 9, I see 3 major submarine incidences slash accidents. This could be sinkages, explosions. I even see like a one of like getting hit by a ship or colliding near a ship or colliding in a near a port. It's something like that. And I see like something about a shark as well, like a shark being near this submarine, like a shark going towards this shark or a whale going towards a submarine. Okay. Like I'm seeing banging, like banging on the submarine. All right. And I see 3 major cable lines that are cut. Again, this could be due to earthquakes, tsunamis. These also could be intentional. And this could even be something with like sharks, whales. I don't know if it's possible, but I see that something about even sharks being connected to cuts with cable lines underwater, submarine lines, and then also incidences with submarine lines due to, mega disasters, man-made disasters, and some of this will also be intentional. And I see certain countries in the world will not have access to internet. Will want to have access to internet or communication. Okay. Prediction number: I see 3 major cities will go dark in the United States. Okay. And I see the United States such as New York City, Los Angeles. I see Chicago, Illinois. I see other cities too: Memphis, Tennessee, Indiana, and Indianapolis, St. Louis, Missouri, Atlanta, Georgia. I see huge outages. But the one that stood out to me the most was New York City. Okay, and of course, cities off the East Coast will experience that. Some of it will also be due to tropical storms. I see a big tropical storm hitting the tri-state areas of back east. So this is like New York State, New Jersey. I see Virginia also having power outages. Richmond, Virginia being power outages, and also storms and floods in those areas as well. And then this is also going to affect parts of Europe and Asia with cities and power outages, what we just discussed with what's going on with Asia. But then I see cities that were hit before power outages in Europe will be hit again. And then I see cities in Puerto Rico and the Caribbean. And I see substations, like subway stations being affected due to these outages. And there will also be a lot of technical issues with subway systems in areas of like Chicago, again, New York, back east. A lot of incidents with transportation back east. Europe, Switzerland came to mind, Australia as well. So Australia will also have power outages and subway system outages. This could also be cyber hackings, but a lot of it does feel weather related, and it's going to be a mixture of things. Again, the numbers threes. I'm seeing three major airports shutting down across the globe. This could be the USA, Europe, okay, and one could either be in Australia or Asia. So I want to say at least four, okay. And I see that there's going to be this could be due to weather again, accidents around those airports or with those specific flights connected to those areas, and also cyber hackings. Okay, and I also do see another fire breaking out at an airport, and then I see also threats at airports. So like attacks, threats of attacks, people being arrested is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing another airport being shut down due to a volcano eruption, and I feel like this could be in Asia and in the Mediterranean areas. I see that there's going to be a lawsuit too with a airport. This could be actually the one in England, the Heathrow Airport. We might hear about a lawsuit that they do, and this could be due to what happened with like the fires that happened, I think, back in March, where they had to shut down the airport temporarily. So we might see that a lawsuit that comes out from Heathrow suing. Okay. Hmm. I also do see we're gonna see sharks near Antarctica, which I know it's like kind of not possible because the weather is so cold, but we're gonna see sharks around Antarctica due to warmer temperatures, shark sightings. That this could be due to again ocean waters being warmer. This might not happen this month, but we'll start to hear about it in the news down the line. Okay. I see overnight coastlines rise and waters being closer to the mainlands of certain cities. This could be in the USA, coastlines across the world. We're going to see water rises all of a sudden. Water is closer to the sand. Water is overflowing the sand. Okay, this is going to be big signs of areas being hit. We're going to hear a lot of sounds from the sky, like sounds, lights coming from clouds, sounds from the oceans, lights coming from under the oceans, I'm seeing as well. Okay. I see there's going to be an unexpected passing of a former US president. And I already made that prediction with Joe Biden and Bill Clinton, their time frame. So we might hear about, a sudden passing of them. This can also be a former US well-known politician. We're going to hear about a sudden passing of a former EU politician, European politician, but I'm getting something connected to America. Okay. So we're going to get some shocking news about that as well. So a politician, a former president, a former Superior Court judge, we're going to start to see that. And remember I said before, I feel Diddy's legal team has to be careful. Okay, I see that energy of Diddy. Diddy I feel is going to get out. Diddy's either going to serve less time or get out soon. And the time he does give, he's going to get out sooner. So he's not even going to really serve a lot of time. And there's also going to be a power outage where Diddy's currently staying now with the federal detention center. And it's going to make headlines because people are going to be like, oh, Diddy in the dark. People are going to make jokes about it. Another person that came to my mind right now is Elon Musk. I see an attempt threat against him. That just came to me, as well as Kamala. Also, do want to talk about the Texas floodings, and I wanted to say one more thing. What I see a theme for this month is my condolences to those people and adults and children who passed away during the floodings. You guys didn't hear about it. Texas was hit with huge floods that claimed up to 83 people so far. Okay. And I had mentioned in one of my videos that there was something about a summer camp where children were either going to be stuck, rescued, or we're going to hear something about it. And lo and behold, unfortunately, we had children, I think it was 23 plus children that were affected, that passed, and were also missing. So there are missing children still. My condolences, okay? I feel like the total, and this ties into what I was saying with the numbers threes. We're going to see a lot of emphasis on threes this month in August, whether it be 3 volcanoes erupting, 3 earthquakes, triple earthquakes, 3 places being targeted. Okay. 3 subway systems, 3 cables. We're going to see 3 planes. We're going to see the numbers 3. So I wonder if the total might be like over 100, around 100, over 100, like 103, 113, 123, 133, 143, 93. You know, we're gonna see a 3 with the victims. So whether it be 93, 83, 103, 113, 123, 133, we're going to see a number 3 included with the numbers. Threes are going to be very highlighted. Also, when certain earthquakes incidences happen around the world, look at the time. We're going to see threes, whether it's 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 2:13, 2:23, 3:43 p.m., 3:23 a.m. Look out for the threes, okay? Either first number or the last number is going to be 3, okay? And then I see another prediction I'm seeing is, you know, again, those attacks in the U.S. We're going to see, okay, we're going to see random attacks in big cities, 3 big cities, Los Angeles, New York City. I see Chicago again. I see San Francisco near the Golden Gate Bridge. There's going to be some attack, maybe even on the bridge. And I'm seeing a vision of the bridge shaking, and fears of the bridge collapsing due to an earthquake. This is like an earthquake, is what I'm seeing. So there's going to be an earthquake that's going to hit California, Los Angeles. Okay, 3 subways, 3 trains, 3 vehicles. I see vehicles with things in them, you know, pow things, and it looks like 3 vehicles, 3 people, 3 cities, 3 areas: Washington D.C., New York, California, Los Angeles, Arizona, and it looks like in these states there's 3s: 3 people, 3 places, 3 events happening 3 times. We're gonna see 3 incidences. We're gonna see a lot of that highlighted this month. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it there for you guys. These are my predictions. Condolences to the families. My heart goes out to you guys. I wish this never happened. So sad. But anyways, we're gonna leave it there, guys. I hope you guys like this video. I know my videos might be too long, but I just have to give out the messages. I don't want to keep, you know, thinking, oh, I should have said this. I just say it in the video. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you guys later. Bye.